Let's see how they're feeling about this today. Nancy, 45 years, that's what you wanted coming into this.
That's exactly
What's your
what we
reaction?
wanted. I am super excited. I am so happy for the mother. I'm happy for the community. Yes, most of all, I mean, Codi got his justice. Codi got his justice, and the community got what we wanted.
Sharice, is there anything else you want?
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. And again, I say, he should still say where that boy is, where that baby is.
Yes.
But justice has been served. Justice.
What do we want to happen now?
I really wish he would step up to the plate to give closure not only to the family but to the community. Where is he? Where is Codi?
Nancy, you heard the mother talk about the impact that this has had on her, the trauma her family's been through. What was your takeaway from hearing from Dina?
I can see it. I can see it in her face, you know, and I feel for her as a mother, as a grandmother, to hear the tragedy that these babies has been through and trying to recover. I feel so bad for her, and I'm praying for her and the babies to get everything right, you know.
Nancy, thank you. That was Nancy and Sharice, a couple community members who have been here throughout this all. Sarah Hammond was also in the courtroom for the sentencing, and she was there as the judge kind of gave some of his reasons. Ultimately, Sarah, the judge decided to go with the maximum of 45 years. He had the chance to deviate either under 45 or perhaps do something else. He opted for the max, and he gave some reasons why.
He did. He said because of the age difference, because it was a familial relation, because of the way Codi was killed by his father, that those were all reasons he felt he could deviate and go above sort of what the sentencing guidelines were, and that was sort of his reasoning.
And then there at the end, we also heard about some child abuse charges that may come out. Did the judge set a date on that at all?
Not yet. They said they were going to handle all that through email just to kind of expedite the process,
Okay.
but they did make that motion.
All right, Sarah, with some reporting there on the ground for us inside the courtroom. So that was another question we had. We know that there are some outstanding charges against Cory Bigsby involving several counts of child abuse and neglect. It appears that perhaps a date has not yet been set for those charges to be heard, but we do expect that to be heard at some point in the near future. But as for now, Eugene, the big headline out of here today is 45 years in prison for Cory Bigsby. And in fact, here's a gentleman who is dressed as Spider-Man, which was Codi's favorite superhero character, and some of the last clothes that he was seen in.
And
Spider-Man
tell me,
happy.
why this today?
Because Codi loves Spider-Man. I'm here with Spider-Man. That's what Little Mama and Fat Daddy, the owner, and he got Spider-Man and everything else. I'm really proud of what happened today, like everybody else.
Why did this case resonate with Hampton Roads like it has?
Because he was so young and it was just like a mystery. Like, is no way that some child just disappeared. Is no way that he could just disappear. He's still out here somewhere, dead or alive.
Yes,
He's
yes.
still here somewhere.
Amanda,
Yes.
it's more than just baby Codi missing. How many more kids are missing in our community?
It's a lot.
I think it's like 266 in the 757 area that is still missing. Every day is kids missing.
We just gotta pray for them.
Yes, and if y'all see them, call the cops. Don't be scared to call the police and stuff on them. Call them. They need to be found. This is no place for no kid to be out here. It's no
just
place.
pray and pray to God that we can try to solve this. The kids don't get killed. It hurts.
Yes.
That's what I'm here for. I'm sorry.
Do you think we'll ever find the body of baby Codi?
I hope so. I pray we do. I pray we do. Even if it's just a little thing is a bone fragment. As long as we can find a part of Codi. Yes.
just anything to have confirmation.
Anything to happen.
So there are more community members who have been here throughout the entire trial. The trial ended back in March with a guilty verdict for Cory Bigsby. He was tried in front of a jury of his peers who came back with a conviction. They spent under 2 hours deliberating and eventually convicted on second-degree murder and concealing of body charges. Then you fast forward about 3 months later. Today, June 18th, marks 3 years, prosecutors say, since Codi Bigsby was murdered at the hands of his father, and the judge ultimately giving the maximum sentence. I'm looking over to my shoulder because we are hoping to hear from some of the attorneys as they come out here today. Some of the defense team who has yet to offer comment. They did not offer comment at the time of the conviction. Perhaps they will have something to say today. Do they have any kind of plans for appeals? We will certainly ask them that. But then we also want to hear from the Commonwealth's attorney. This was a big case for them to take on, the first no-body case in Hampton history. And here, not only did they get the conviction, but ultimately, Eugene, they got that maximum of 45 years in prison for Cory Bigsby, where he will spend more than 4 decades for the murder of his son, Codi. 3 at the time of the murder, 4 at the time his reported disappearance by his father.
Dan, if you can hear me, just a quick question. Was Cory Bigsby in the courtroom today? Did he have any expression? If so,
let's go this way. You know, Eugene, it was the same story that we saw during the trial, and it was an expressionless Cory Bigsby for the most part. The same today. He was led into the courtroom in handcuffs because he has spent the last 3 months behind bars. He had originally been out on bond through the proceedings of the trial. But today, when he was led into handcuffs, really the same sort of expressionless face that we saw throughout the trial. And across the street is Anton Bell, Commonwealth's attorney for Hampton, giving some people a hug, community members. And right behind Anton is the mother of Codi Bigsby, who testified today. She was the sole witness today for the Commonwealth's attorney, giving her victim impact statement, talking about the trauma of today. And I've just heard that Mr. Bell will be giving a news conference. So whether that is to be outside or perhaps indoors, as he crosses the street, it appears, Eugene, that press conference will be indoors. So if you all want to hang with us, we certainly hope to take those comments live. But Eugene, go ahead and any other questions you have, send my way.
Yeah, you talked about the mother. She testified today. She spoke. What were some of the things that she said in the courtroom today, Dan?
Eugene, repeat that question about the mother, please.
You said that she spoke and testified. Well, what did she say in court?
Okay, so yeah, it was actually some tearful testimony today from the mother. She gave her victim impact statement, and she talked about just how traumatizing this experience has been. She talked about the therapy that she and her kids are now having to go through. They have a couple twins, I believe age 5, and then they have an older brother now, age 8. And he was the one who actually testified during the murder trial about finding Codi dead in bed. So those 3 children, in her words, have essentially been to hell and back. They're going through therapy. She got tearful, saying she's not sure, how the family is going to move on from this. She has nightmares thinking about the trauma that the other children have been through. And Eugene, we also learned today that the mother arrived here back in March to testify, and she was escorted by her best friend at the time. She testified today that her best friend had a heart attack in front of her on the morning that the mom was set to testify, and that her best friend later died.
Oh my goodness, Dan. I mean, it speaks, you talk to community members, you've heard now from family. This case has touched the hearts of so many people at so many different levels. That moment that the decision was read that he was going to get the maximum, did you hear anything, the response from people in the courtroom? Did they let out any gas? What was that like in the moment that was read?
So we were on the right side of the courtroom, the media, and in front of us was about 4 rows of community members, and there was audible sighs of relief from the community members who have been here since March in support of Codi. On the other side of the courtroom was a handful of members of Cory Bigsby's family, including Cory's older sister, who testified not only during the trial but also today, and then also a couple other members of Cory's family. So being on the other side of the courtroom didn't get a great look at family reaction, but in terms of reaction from the defendant, again, emotionless today.
You mentioned, the father there, Cory. He spoke to us, obviously, in a jailhouse interview. He's still maintaining his innocence at this point, correct? And have we heard anything from his side on their plans of a possible appeal?
Well, that's the big question that we do have for defense attorneys, and I believe our Sarah Hammond is still lingering outside of the courthouse, hoping to catch up with them as we're heading inside the prosecutor's office for a scheduled news conference that we've just heard about. So while Sarah asks about a possible appeal for the defense team, we plan to ask for prosecutors' reaction today because, yes, Eugene, Cory Bigsby has maintained his innocence through it all and even maintained his innocence in that jailhouse interview with 13 News Now on the day of his conviction. The prosecutors actually brought up that jailhouse interview today when they were asking the judge for the maximum sentence. And you talked about how this case has impacted Hampton Roads. That was also discussed by the prosecutors today when they asked for the 45 years. They said never has a case impacted the Hampton Roads region like this case. Why? Because everyone wanted to believe Codi is alive. And again, if you're just now tuning in, the word from Hampton today is that Cory Bigsby has been sentenced to the maximum amount of time in prison for second-degree murder and concealing a body, and that's 45 years.
Dan, and you speak to everyone hoping that that little boy is still alive.
Have to be turned off while you're coming through the courtroom, courthouse.
Okay. All right, it looks like Dan and them are trying to get into the courtroom now so that they can get the reaction from Hampton's Commonwealth's attorney, Anton Bell, after you just heard there breaking news this afternoon that Cory Bigsby has been given the maximum sentence in the death of his son, Codi Bigsby, whose body has still not been found. We will, of course, bring you the latest on this as soon as we get, I'm sure, that pulled up to hear from the Commonwealth's attorney. We'll get that to you. But for now, thanks for joining us for 13 News Now at noon. Stay with us online and on our app, 13 News Now Plus.